Defining ERM is clearly not easy. It's a very broad term, but I would say it's understanding what makes your business goals achievable and where the uncertainties in those things lie. So if you can actually understand where they are and how to manage them, then in theory you should have a much more sustainable long-term business. So if you think back a few years when ERM was still quite young, a lot of it was very technical focused and perhaps more aligned to traditional risk management, so very technical, very mathematical, very compliance oriented, whereas now ERM is more business oriented. You start seeing a lot more conversation around people, thinking around culture. So we're merging all of those dynamics with the mathematical aspects into something more business focused, I would say. So I think from a company perspective, ERM traditionally would have been more of an overhead, an actual cost, because it was adding something to what was already in the business. But gradually as ERMs develop, people are now embedding that more into the business, so it becomes a way of working rather than an additional piece of work. And I think in the C-suite we're seeing a lot more value now from ERM. People are getting insight rather than challenge just for the sake of challenge. People are getting understanding so they can see where the opportunities might be as well as the downsides. So I think really we're seeing ERM now beginning to add more value rather than just adding cost. First step towards risk management would be actually thinking about risk, which sounds simple, but a lot of firms don't do that. But if you could actually think around what causes uncertainty in business performance, is there anything I could do to reduce that? Am I missing opportunities to produce a more certain outcome? All of those things are a good first step to risk management that don't cost a lot of money. I think the increase in the use of actuaries really comes from the professionalism of what they do. And being an actuary isn't just as simple as taking some exams and learning some maths. It really is around buying into a professional code of conduct. And as a risk officer in a business, it's actually quite interesting if people know that you're obliged to speak the truth, tell them what they need to hear, even if it's going to cost them their job. And that's a very powerful thing in the boardroom.